All right, guys, I want to thank you very, very much for taking a couple seconds to listen to what I'm talking about. First and foremost, I want to just let you know that a couple of the things I'm going to talk about, I'm going to just give a little bit of a disclaimer. I'll give it again when I get going here. But the things I'm going to talk about, I definitely want you to check into with either a tax accountant, CPA, anything that any person that is qualified to give information. Same thing with anything so far as nutraceuticals or skincare or anything like that. Always talk to your doctor before you get involved in anything. But what I want to talk to you about today, just very quickly, and I'm going to put up a couple little, I guess, visuals because I get a little, kooky so far as, going through and be able to stay on track. I'm very squirrel, kind of a guy. But I have here, you might be good now, but. And the reason I have that up there is because it wasn't all that long ago, about 8 years ago, that I was working at a job where I had good benefits. It wasn't my dream job by any means, but it was paying the bills. Everything was going great. My wife saw a ad for them needing some additional help at a local place, and it looked like a dream job. Okay, it was close to home. I didn't know about the money, but probably better money ended up being better money, and just seemed like a dream job. And when I got to there, one of the very first things someone told me was, "You will cry at this job." I did not. Of course, I wasn't there long enough to really find out. Spoiler alert. Went on a trip with my daughter to go and chaperone a Washington, D.C. trip. And when I got back, they said, "Hey, come in the office, tell us all about it." And I got canned. So I went home, and during that time, it was Walking Dead was in its heyday, and the character Negan was, a kind of a staple. And when I walked in, my wife said, "You forget something?" And I said, "No, I just got Negan." And she said, "What?" And I said, I just got canned." And she's like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "No, I'm not kidding." But here's the thing. I want to let you know a couple things. That job was a dream job. It was a nightmare. But it was something that, much like the previous job, I probably would have never left had I not been forced out. Okay. But at that time, what happened was it was this time of year. It was almost exactly this time of year, 8 years ago. And it was the best thing in hindsight that could have ever happened because I was able to go out and venture out on my own. Okay, I was forced to do that. And when you get backed into a corner, as a lot of times the best stuff that will happen to you is just that. You get backed into a corner and you all of a sudden are forced to hustle. Okay, so I want to bring up the next thing. Okay, and that is just that, side hustles. So in my particular case, I am able to do social media, do visuals like what you see on the screen, do podcasting, do other things. I was doing some of all of that, and was doing it in the job when I left. So because of unfair competition clauses, wasn't allowed to work in this area. So I started working for a client up in Cleveland. That client is and still is an absolutely incredible client. That particular client is Mighty Line Floor Tape. And Mighty Line just had a convention that my daughter and I went to, and for what was called FabTech in Orlando. and we were in the pool at the Airbnb that we were at. And I apologize. It looks like I may have cut out there for just a second, guys. But we were in the pool, and my friend and client looked at me and said, "Why? What's that thing that you've been doing, or that you went to in Salt Lake City?" And I think Salt Lake City kind of holds a special place for them because of a lot of things. But one of the things is I think they go to I think it's Park City. I might be wrong about that, but I think they go skiing there. So I told them, what I was doing, and they said, "How come you never post about that?" And I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. But I wanted to talk to you about side hustles, okay? Because again, you might be good now, but okay. And what I mean by that is a lot of things, guys. I mean that because I can remember years ago when I was doing something else and talking to mortgage brokers. And mortgage brokers at the time were, I mean, just absolutely doing so good that you couldn't have talked to them about anything. You could have, approach them with an opportunity where they give you $1 and you immediately give them back $5 and $100, $1 million, and they would have said no. Okay, they were just, you know, living life in grand fashion, but just a little bit later they weren't. Okay, the market fell out, and those people were left, gathering up the pieces. Same thing can be considered of any job that you hear that is being downsized, or another situation is, a lot of people have gotten used to working from home, and they're being told now that they got to go back. And that is something that is just driving certain people crazy, because they've gotten used to that freedom and autonomy of working from home. Even though they're working for someone else, they still have kind of etched out a home routine that they don't want to go back to corporate life, and being under a microscope, of being told when they can go to the bathroom and all that stuff. And I want to let you know right off the jump, I am not poo-pooing working a W-2 lifestyle whatsoever. I am just going to tell you that working a 1099 lifestyle has got its benefits, okay? And especially if you're doing it without working for someone else, if you're doing it for yourself. So one of the very first things that you can do with that, and I'm going to bring something else up here, is affiliate marketing. Okay, in affiliate marketing, there are two different kinds of affiliate marketing, and three really. The first one is going to be you have a passion for something, or you have a knowledge of something. And the third thing is you don't have either one of those, but you're marketing for someone that does. Okay, so someone that has a passion, or someone that has a knowledge, or both. So those three things are really the only things that have to do with affiliate marketing. Again, you either have a knowledge of something, a passion for something, both, or again, you're marketing for someone else that does. Okay, now obviously if it's yours, you're going to get more money. Okay, and again, disclaimer, which I'll give another disclaimer at the very end here, but everyone is going to do things differently. Okay, when you hear things that I talk about, you're going to be thinking, I could never do that. Well, there's a Henry Ford quote out there that says, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Okay, and what that means is, if you think you can't, or if you think you can, both are true. All right, so the money and the opportunity is there for everybody. It's just you may have to work harder than you've ever worked in your life to get something off, but it's going to benefit you, okay, in some way, shape, or form. So you're out there and you're doing affiliate marketing. You're selling a product. You're selling a course. You're selling a digital download. You're selling consulting. Whatever that affiliate marketing is, where you are out there getting people to pay you for your knowledge, or other people are out there and they're doing the same thing but for you. Okay, and if you know anything, and I'm going to bring this up, a couple times, at least a couple. J. Paul Getty, who was the essentially the first, we'll call him undocumented billionaire. He said, and this is going to be a paraphrase, guys, but I would rather have 1% effort of 100 people than 100% of my own. Okay. And what he meant by that is essentially like compounding. Okay. Having other people go out and do things to help him build his wealth. Okay. So with affiliate marketing, the way that that works is you sell your product, and let's say that you do it for an hour a day. You have an hour of day to do that. Okay. But if you have two people, you and another person, then now you have 2 hours, assuming they're doing an hour. Okay. And so on and so on. So let's say that you have 100 people, or let's say it's 99 and you're the 100th person. You now have 100 people out there doing stuff, and which, again, the numbers don't always work this way, guys. But just for the record, I want to let you know the same thing I told you before. They can be better, they can be worse, or they can be exactly the nothing. But the thing that I will tell you, I'll give you a great example. Years ago, I lost 101 pounds and 54 inches, and the program that I was on had a very low average weight loss, but I never considered myself average. Okay, so I would tell people, listen, not only can you do better than me, but you could also do worse. But the thing is, you have the opportunity to do it because I did it, and other people that I saw did it in those large numbers. But yet the average that the company had to tell you was based off of everybody. And I'll get to that point again here in just a second. But when you are out there and you're talking about these numbers just for uh, um, example purposes, let's just say that you have 100 people and they're all doing an hour of work. Okay, you now have 100 hours out there a day. Okay, that people are doing work for you. Let's say 100 hours a day, 5 days a week. Maybe they're not working on the weekends. Okay, so you're going to, just because of sheer numbers, start to grow because of that, because you have a team out there working for you. All right. So affiliate marketing is great, but I want to bring another thing up to you, and this is going to go to that conversation that I had with my client. Okay. And that is this: it's network marketing. Okay. Now, when you think of network marketing, I'm just going to go right to the elephant in the room, and that is everyone says things like, you're doing one of those things, or I had a friend that was in one of those, it didn't work, it's a scam, or the granddaddy of all of them is, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. Well, guys, a pyramid scheme is where you put money into something, and you are going to, if you're at the top of it, make money, and the people at the bottom essentially at some point are not going to get paid. It's illegal, and it's something that, number one, I would never do because of the fact that it's a scam and it is illegal. But it's not what any of these things are, and I'm going to explain a couple things to you about that. One, if you look at the structure of any company, okay, and what I mean by that is, and it looks like I'm froze. If I'm froze, this is okay. Um, any company has got a person at the top. We'll call them a CEO. They've got a board of directors, which are going to be another couple people. Then they have, upper level management, which is going to be, a bunch more people. Then they're going to have, lower management, which is again a bunch more people. And then they're going to have staff, okay, in various, forms that go from a higher position in the form of like supervisors all the way down to, whatever you want to call it, the working class Joes, okay, and Josephines out there. All right. And if you think about what that looks like, it's a pyramid. Okay. It's a one person at the top, a bunch of people at the bottom, and it's a pyramid. Okay. So if you're working in a job, which again, I am not poo-pooing in any way, shape, or form, That is a pyramid scheme, okay, or a pyramid structure. All right, but what I want to talk to you about in the case of, oh, that's a scam. I heard that my friend did it, it didn't work. Well, what I would tell you is this: when you think about things that don't work, all right, or the things that are scams, let's talk about three industries. One is insurance, okay, and I'm going to bring insurance up again. The other one's hairdressing, like a hairdresser. And then the third is a real estate agent, okay, which is kind of in the same thing with the insurance I'll talk to you about here in just a second. But you have to get licensed for all three of those things in order to be able to do them professionally and legally. Um, and the thing that I would tell you is that there are people that get involved in all three and never cut one hair, never sell one house, never sell one policy. Okay. But is it a scam? And the answer, as you probably know, is no. Okay. They're not scams. They're hard to do because with a hairdresser being probably the easiest one of all, you have to go out and get clients, okay, and to come in and sit down and let you cut their hair. With a house or a realtor, you have to, sell houses, which is, if you've ever done it or if you have somebody that that's done it, it's not easy. If you get lucky and sell, houses right off the bat, that's great. But most people don't, just do it easily. And the same thing with insurance. You're probably beating the pavement, and you're probably doing the same thing as you are in network marketing, and that is and probably those other two things. You're probably talking to your friends and family. Do you need to sell a house? Do you need to have your hair cut? Do you have an insurance policy? Would you mind switching over to me? Let me handle your insurance. So you're probably talking to friends and family right off the bat. Well, again, those things are not scams. They're just difficult to do. And I would tell you something that is going to, again, be just my opinion and my opinion only, but be glad that things like that are tough, because if they were easy, everybody would be doing them and there wouldn't be an opportunity. Okay, so with network marketing, what I want to talk to you about is what my client said to me. And that was, we were in the pool. And again, he said, hey, you went to this thing out in um, Salt Lake City. This one is actually from Anaheim. But this was the first convention. And I'll talk to you about that as well. But he said, what was it? What was the deal with that? And I told him. He goes, well, I never see you post anything about it. Well, the reason that I don't, and I brought these over. Now, these aren't all from network marketing. Some of them are from conventions and other things. But as you can see, I've just got a myriad of lanyards here. Okay. And the reason that I brought those over, I've saved those, over the years. I always say I have, I've been there, done that, and have the T-shirt to prove it. I got involved in network marketing in 1987. Okay, now for some of you, you weren't even born. Okay, when I did that, I was a young man just getting out of high school. I lived in a very, very small village. Still do live in a small village. But back then, in those days, you had no cell phones. Okay, so you had to call people from a traditional phone, and anything outside of your immediate area was considered long distance. So I sold long distance prepaid cards to a company called Excel. And if you've been in network marketing and you're an old timer like me, you probably know that name, or you probably may have heard of it, or maybe another company that offered them, because much like anything else, once one thing takes off, a lot of people adopt it. But the network marketing for prepaid phone cards was great. Okay. And I had great experiences with that. And that got me involved in an entrepreneurial spirit that I always say I'm psychologically unemployable. And what I mean by that is, even if I'm at a job and I'm doing my best, which I always would do, I'm still thinking, man, could I get out of this and do something that's more fitting of my skills? Or, I wish I didn't have to bid for vacation, or whatever your thought that goes through your head thoughts that go through your head when you're at a job. I've had them, exponentially. Okay, so and I've always thought, what can I do? What can I do? And so network marketing always seemed like a great opportunity. And the reason why is the same now that it was back then. But the difference is that I've had great successes and absolute fall on my face failures. And so when I was approached with this company that I'm in right now, I was very apprehensive to talk to people about it. And the reason why was because I'd gotten burned so many times before. And much like those three industries that I was talking to you about, insurance, real estate, and hairdressing, two of those, the real estate and the insurance, when you open a new office in those, you've got, to have a physical location, much like a franchise would with, like, let's say a McDonald's. Okay. If you start a McDonald's, you have to have a physical location and a boatload of money in order to get started. Well, if you want to do another location, it's the same thing again. Okay, you're going to have another physical location, another boatload of money. Okay, and you're essentially buying a job. Okay, now you're buying a proven job in the case of McDonald's, because they're not going to put one in an area that they think is going to fail. But you still have to hustle. And the other thing that has to happen is you need to realize that, again, you're buying a job, you're trading time for money, because if you don't work it, if you don't have good people to work it for you, you're not going to succeed, because things are going to happen. I'm not saying anything beyond that, but people don't do what they're supposed to do necessarily when people are away. So, but and the same thing with, a brokerage office or an insurance agency. Okay, physical location, you have to have a location, and then you have to build a staff, and there's a myriad of things that happen. But with the insurance and the real estate, keep in mind that same J. Paul Getty concept, okay, which is, I'd rather have 1% effort of 100 people than 100% of my own. You start to build people that are out there selling houses for you and selling policies for you, and you're the broker, okay? And you get a piece of everything that those people do, okay? Same thing with network marketing, okay? So there's a million different ways to work network marketing, but the plan that I'm on is a two-tiered plan where you have a left side and a right side, okay? So there is a phrase out there, U plus two, okay? So keep in mind that if you build one person on your left, one person on your right, and then you go out and help those people do the same thing, okay? You are going to then multiply your efforts, exponentially. Now, I want to state again, just for the record, a disclaimer, and that is it's extremely hard work. It is not, something that's easy, and everyone is not going to build in the way that I tell you this, but it can happen better than this as well. So, but let's just say that you help to, who helped to, who helped to, who helped to, you're going to exponentially grow that group out more and more and more. Okay. So network marketing is amazing, because if I want to go outside of my little village to a neighboring town, I don't have to buy a physical location. I don't have to staff it. I don't have to have utilities. I don't have to have, all the things that go into having a physical location. I can talk to one person who then builds in that area and starts to do exactly what those brokers, would do with their staff. They're out there building a network marketing team, but I'm still here in the home office, and I'm also in the virtual home office of those people. Okay. And then if they want to build outside of their area and maybe go to a completely different state, again, we don't have to have a physical location. All we have to do is just build from that location virtually. And the same thing in other countries. This particular country is in 14 different, or this particular company is in 14 different countries. So when you're building a network marketing company, you're out there not only doing what you're supposed to be doing, but then getting other people to do the same thing underneath you. Okay. So, which is in this particular case, nutraceuticals and skincare. Okay. So, it is a big deal and something that I would highly suggest. So, the reason again that I haven't been speaking about it was because I didn't want to get involved and start talking to people about something that I didn't think could, be around, later on, because I didn't come out of retirement or anything like that. I didn't say one last time or all the different things that you hear. I just didn't want to be that guy that was in another thing. Okay, so it took a client, asking me why you don't talk about it for me to go through and talk about it. So thank you to Alec for doing just that. And I said that today on a team call. And my personal upline, the person that brought me in, not directly, but the kind of the larger person above me, a friend of mine, Christine, said, "Thank your client for telling you to talk about this." So the next thing I want to talk to you about is this, and that is a lot of people will say, "I don't have time to do that." Well, I'm going to say hogwash. Okay. And the reason I say that is because we all have enough time. Okay. I do, I'm writing in right now a combination of 4 different books. I have got, numerous clients I do podcasting for. The client that I just spoke about, that I was, visiting Orlando with, we are approaching 5 years of doing podcasting in a row, every week, never having missed a week. That alone is an accomplishment that not many, most podcasters cannot say. It's something that is a huge undertaking. 254 episodes in a row we've done every week, never having missed a week through all sorts of issues, hospitalizations, family members dying, you name it, weddings, babies, you name it. We've experienced it in some way, shape, or form, either myself or the actual client. But we've never missed a week. So if you say you don't have time, I do all that, authoring the books. I'm a family man. I got 2 kids in college, my wife, animals, household, all these stuff that you have. But so don't tell me you don't have time, because you have time. If I followed you around for an hour, I'd be able to tell you, exactly how much time, probably within, a couple hours of how much time you have, to give. Because if you're watching Netflix at night, if you're, in a sports league, if you're doing anything that is not productive, then the answer is you absolutely have got the time. So time is not the issue. It's time management that's the issue. The next thing, and that is this: a lack of money. Okay, that one I'll believe. Okay, because everyone's tight. Okay, it's a tight time out there. Even if you are very tight, or you are, what you think is tight. I understand money issues. That is something that, you can make a good case for. But again, much like the time, if you're eating out, if you're, buying things that you don't need, you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, there, you probably have got more money than what you think. But then the other thing is something that, again, I want to give a disclaimer for, and that is, I'm not a tax attorney, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant. But I will tell you this: if you're in a business with the intention of making money, and you especially go out there and get yourself to where you're incorporated, you're not talking about a great deal of money to do so, and you're going to have the ability to write off probably more than you could ever imagine in your household, whether it be a portion of your house such as this, your office, all the equipment that you see, the books that I read, portions of your cable if you're watching YouTube to learn stuff, your internet, your gas, your utilities, lots and lots of other things. Again, I'm not a tax attorney. You want to talk to your attorney about this, but you're a tax attorney or your accountant. But I promise you, the average person, not even trying, can gather up a couple $100s a month easily in tax savings alone to be able to write off at the end of the year, and that would more than fund the stuff that I'm talking about. Okay, so you do have the money. The lack of money is an issue, but it's not a issue that's going to hold you back. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is just that, a disclaimer. And that disclaimer is this, guys. You can definitely do better than what I'm talking about. You can do worse than what I'm talking about. But if you stay the same, you're going to stay the same and probably go backward. Okay. If you know anything about, and he's somewhere behind me here, the book Jeff Olson put out called The Slight Edge. What he says in that is that it doesn't seem to make a difference in the act of doing it, but compounded by time makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so what he means by that is you can make slight errors in judgment, or you can make slight disciplines in your life. But what's going to happen is you will grow if you're doing the disciplines, and you will shrink if you're doing the errors in judgment. Okay, and what seems really difficult at the beginning of making those slight disciplines will then take you across, and it'll go up and then be easier, and the benefits will be better. If you are doing the errors in judgment, it's easy to start off with, but it goes down. Okay, and ends up being easy at the beginning but hard on you at the end. And so what I would tell you with money and time, if you say I don't have the time and I can't afford to do this, then my answer to you would be then you can't afford not to do it. Okay, and not network marketing, not affiliate marketing, just a side hustle. Okay, of getting away from what you're doing currently and finding the sometime to part-time to full-time that will give you exactly what I have here, which is the freedom and autonomy of being able to basically do what I'm doing right now, which is doing a video at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. Okay. Having a 10-step commute from my upstairs down here to what I call the war room. Okay. Which is my office. Okay. Many more areas of this that you aren't seeing. But you can do it. You just need to get backed into a corner that I was in 8 years ago and have that flight or fight, which I chose to fight, and get yourself into a situation where, again, you go from sometime to part-time to full-time. Okay. And with the disclaimer again, you want to make sure that you go out there and you talk to your tax person. Make sure that I'm telling you the truth, which I am. I would never lie to you. And that you also, if you decide to go through and do an MLM, network marketing, and especially if you decide to do what I'm doing, which is, again, nutraceuticals and skincare, that, are the best on the market, then consult your doctor first. Make sure it's okay for you to take it. Now, something I will tell you, the opportunity that I'm in, if you've ever heard of the physician's desk reference, if you go to PDR.net, which is the digital version of that blue book that you used to see in doctors' offices, if you look up our products, and I'll gladly give you that in a DM, or if you want to contact me, I'll tell you what those products are. But all of our products are in that PDR.net. It's not something that you buy to get on. it has to be approved to get on. Much like I told you about other things where, the majority of people aren't in, like with the podcast I told you. Most products are not in this PDR.net. This is a products that are, the absolute best products out there. It's not Me Too. These aren't products where it's made somewhere else and then we slap a label on it and 100 other people have got the same thing with a slight tweak of the formulation. Our products are our products. We have our own medical board, just incredible products that, again, are all listed in that PDR.net. So, what I want you to do, and I'm going to put something up on the screen for you, and it is going to be this right here. Go to my website, which is weswyatt.com, and you're going to see this guy meeting you, which is my face. Underneath it, you're going to see a place where you can put your name and your email. Do that, and you can subscribe to my newsletter, start engaging with me. I would be more than glad to answer any questions for you when I get you into that group. If you don't want to do that, I'd highly suggest that you do. I'm not going to spam you or, inundate you with, a bunch of messages. But the other thing you can do if you don't want to do that is if you look in the lower right of the screen, you'll see that little thought bubble, and you can ask me a question in there. It is live, but I want to let you know I don't always monitor it. So I may not get back to you extremely fast, but I will get back to you in a very timely manner. Either one of those will work. But make sure that you go to weswyatt.com, engage with me, and I'll tell you about the side hustles, the affiliate marketing opportunities, the network marketing opportunities, and why you don't want to be a secret agent like I was for a long time with this, not in the past, just with this particular opportunity, and why it's so important to get started, because if you're looking for that freedom and autonomy, you are just going to have to break out of your shell and get away from being only a W-2 type person, where you're trading time for money, and get into some of the other opportunities that are out there. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that this message finds you ready to take some action. I would love for you to be on my team. I will just let you know, just straight off, I'm going to be building a team of what I will call beyond that U+2, which I already have. I am looking to build what I'm going to call a board of directors. Okay. And that is going to be people that want to lock arms and absolutely knock the skin off the ball and kick butt, take initials, because we don't have time to take names, and then help those people go out and build their, quote unquote board of directors, the people that want to do the same, and just, take this to a completely different level and show you the amazing things that are possible with that world. So anyway, again, that's all I got for you. I hope that this, touched you in some way, that you are ready to take action. If that's the case, go to weswyatt.com, fill out that name and email. Or again, if you don't want to do that, just chat with me in that little thought bubble on the lower right, and both of those will get you in touch with me. And or if you're watching me on any of the social media, direct message me, and I'd be more than glad to get you information about what I'm doing, and not be a secret agent, and just kind of get you involved in the information. And if it's something that you like, great. And if it's not, we'll part as friends. But I want you to know the opportunities that are out there. So again, until we talk, I appreciate your time. And as always, have a dynamite day. I'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.